When I talk about someone, I always want to put myself in their situation and from there think how their situations and circumstances will reflect on me. That is precisely why I think that Sasuke 100% cannot be blamed for the vengeance-driven monster he became. It's easy to judge people and say what's right or wrong, but in the end that's just your point of view, and everyone has their own, as well as everything is not only black or white, often either one of them or both, depending on the angle you look from. Before people start judging Sasuke and telling him how he should have stayed in the leaf instead of going to Orochimaru, they need to go way back to his childhood and remember what happened. Sasuke had a lovely family and a good brother, but one day while he was still just a little kid, he saw his whole clan murdered, including his parents, killed by none other than his own brother Itachi. And when Sasuke asked why Itachi did it, Itachi didn't even give him a logical reason. He just said that he had to measure his own capabilities, whatever that means, and that he had to do it, which is true, but still was a very vague reason, and in the beginning it literally looked like Itachi killed his clan for no reason. Itachi pushed Sasuke further down the path of hatred, inciting him to despise and detest his brother before disappearing. That's what happened. If you put me in the same situation Sasuke was in, there is no way I would have done anything different from him. And I'm not talking about his personality, I'm talking about his path of vengeance, his entire motive to get stronger, to kill his brother, to descend into the deepest darkness just to gain power. Because just like Sasuke, I would have branded myself as an Avenger too. In the beginning of Naruto things were slightly different though. From the moment Team 7 was formed, yes, it's true that Naruto and Sasuke still hated each other, but as time passed and they faced more challenges, they started to kind of like each other, and I think that changed Sasuke a little bit. Their genius plan with the fake shuriken against Zabuza is the best example I can think of where, because of how dire the situation was and the pressure they were under, they unlocked their teamwork potential, which everyone who saw instantly recognized. Don't get me wrong, Sasuke still wanted vengeance and power no matter what, but he formed a bond. Both he and Naruto even said that the other had become their best friend. There was a good side of Sasuke that emerged and kept growing as he and Naruto progressed through their adventures. But everything changed when Itachi arrived at the Leaf Village and confronted his little brother in the hotel. That was the last time we saw that Sasuke, as Itachi did a lot of work to push him back in that darkness direction. First, there was Itachi's sudden appearance. Then he completely beat Sasuke down, reminding him just how weaker he still was. But the cherry on top was the Tsukuyomi. For everyone who says Itachi was always a good person and a good brother, he made Sasuke watch his parents die 1,000,000 times straight over the course of 24 hours. How the fuck do you expect Sasuke to turn out anything but what he did after that? Then, right after he finally killed Itachi, Sasuke learned the truth about his older brother, that the massacre of his clan was actually a mission assigned by the Leaf Village and that Danzo was behind it all. Can you imagine how you would feel in that situation? Up until that point your entire life was built on hating and wanting to kill your brother, the one who murdered your whole clan and family right before your eyes. You finally kill him and get your revenge only to find out he was used and it was all part of a mission. It's true that killing his clan was still Itachi's choice, but the other alternative was to do nothing, side with the Uchiha and die with them. And honestly, I doubt the Uchiha could have taken on the Leaf forces, not to mention that it would have sparked an even larger war with other countries jumping in to take advantage. So Itachi chose to prevent all of that and save his brother who knew nothing. That's why Sasuke was spared, because of Itachi's words and because he was his little brother, the one he loved. After finding out the truth about Itachi, it was very logical for Sasuke to descend even further into the darkness. Quite frankly, I would have wanted to wipe out the Leaf Village too, especially after seeing those scenes where everyone talks about Itachi. Itachi didn't care about that. He was fine with being laughed at, pointed at with hateful eyes, and having no one know the truth about him. But Sasuke wasn't. It didn't seem fair because it really isn't. That's precisely why Itachi didn't want anyone, especially eventually Sasuke to learn the truth about him, because he knew how Sasuke would react. That's also why just before dying Itachi planted the Amaterasu inside Sasuke so it would activate if Obito approached him, but Obito escaped and eventually told Sasuke the truth. Then the rest was inevitable. So before you judge Sasuke, remember his story, remember the pain, the betrayal and the impossible choices. Maybe then you'll see why he became who he did. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.